It is Parallel Frequencies. I am just Blane. This is Coco. You are the freaks, and we are at our favorite coffee shop once again.
I know. How lucky are we that we had tech issues and we get to be here every day of the week?
Yeah, right? We love Amber.
So
we love Land of a Thousand Hills. Thank you for letting us be here.
Got my
all
breakfast.
the baristas. Oh, yeah. What is this breakfast you got
my,
here? What is it?
Chili crunch toast.
Oh, no. Look at the presentation of this bad boy. This is beautiful. I almost slid it right off. Did you see that? I almost slid your breakfast right off into the floor. But
That's what I've been munching on while I've been waiting today.
The tech issues have really been out of control, but this is a plus from having the tech issues. And today,
I don't mind.
it's Freqy Friday.
Yeah.
It's already Friday. We're at the end of the week already. And you know what we do on Freqy Friday? We look at comments from the freaks. And then they are coming in. I still can't believe people watch this. You guys are watching us.
Cannot believe you watch this.
I
What is
can't-
wrong
I
with you?
can't
Why are you
believe.
doing that?
I see the numbers going up. I see the comments coming in. I'm flabbergasted. But let's get into some of these comments right here. And here's one from a while back on a clip that we put out about Joe Bob's retirement. And I said, Shudder is going to go down. And this comment from @Jason Butler says, I agree with you 100%. That's the only thing you can do about this whole situation.
Yeah.
You can agree, and that's it.
Joe Bob fans.
Joe Bob did not leave. It did come out. He did not leave on his own accord. There was some other stuff going on there. But yeah, I totally 100% agree. We had another comment about Joe Bob too, and I'll get to that one. But we had some on Alien. Remember when we did Alien?
Mm-hmm.
Talking about Ripley. She was at Ariba. Says she was good because she was believable, she was vulnerable, and she was scared. But she still succeeded.
Yeah, because that's pretty realistic. I mean, we'd be terrified in a situation.
I mean, would you not?
But our will to live, right?
What? It outweighs
how scared you could be. Maybe.
I think so.
I don't know.
So.
That really makes me question myself. Would I have what it takes to survive, or would I be like, I'm really scared. I'm gonna let myself just.
Yeah. And here's some comments for you, Coco. And it's @Desman5079. And they're talking about your show. I don't remember what the show's called. Is it Alone? Remember when we talked about Alone? He says, I was rooting for Timber all the way.
Me too.
But there was absolutely no way he was going to outlast William. Great season.
Yeah, that was they were neck and neck. I mean, but Timber had such a personality that I think, I don't know, made you want to root for him a little more just because you felt like you got to know him so much better.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. They were
What do you
all
think
solid.
about that?
They were all solid guys. I was really proud of everybody on that show, mostly because I know I couldn't have survived myself. But you know, what I want to bring back about that show, what we talked about, was that it's not just your skills and your fortitude and your endurance and your physical health. Those are all components. They're important. But almost everybody going into it has those. It's the, excuse me, it's the chili toast in my throat. It's the emotional intelligence that I think gets them to the end.
Yeah, I mean, you're out there trying to survive is what it is, right? What are they doing? Were they alone out on an island? What is this?
Yeah, they drop them off on completely different places, so they're absolutely alone. They don't even have a camera crew. They have med checks, so that the only time they see another person is when the med checks come and just like make sure that they're alive. Make sure that they're not,
check their pulse,
starving themselves out. But yeah, so part of the challenge of staying out there as long as you can, and they know going into it, they may have to stay out there for 3 months. Like, it's last one standing, so they have no idea until someone comes to get them and say, hey, you're it, you're the last one, good job, you won. They are not gonna know.
What do they win? They get money?
$250,000, I think, was the prize money on that season.
That's worth going out there in the middle of nowhere for. I'd do that.
Yeah, and a lot of them are like, I really can use this money for whatever reason. They all have their reasons, really, really good reasons.
I wonder if we could do a lone Utah version. I bet we could probably get a group of people, put them out in the woods.
Yeah.
I'd join up on that.
It would be easier here than the places that they put them. I'm
sure. I'm sure they got to put them. They got to get them away from.
They put them in like the Arctic Circle.
I could do. Now that's my thing. I could do cold. I couldn't do the hot. I could do the cold as long as I had enough to keep me warm, which I'd figure that out. Here we go. Do you remember when we talked about digital media versus physical media?
Yes.
I know the freaks do because they went in on the comments. And this comment from @Chef Sam says, I still buy a DVD if I want to watch a movie.
Yep.
And left it at that. And I get that. So I'm assuming Chef Sam is a guy, he only wants to watch a movie if it is a physical copy. And I do not blame him one bit.
I get that.
I had this conversation last night. This conversation came up with me and my wife, Lindsay, after me and you ran across what we thought was going to be an innocent movie for us to do, toys.
Yep.
And we could not find the damn movie anywhere.
Wednesday show. Yep.
And Lindsay, we start going down this rabbit hole of, she's like, well, what are they hiding? What's in this movie that we can't see?
Ooh, that's a good question.
And it got me thinking even more about the physical versus digital media. And you've got to keep your physical copies of media.
I have friends that are canceling all of their streaming services, and they live close enough to a large library, a county library that has a pretty big DVD collection. So they're like, anytime we want to go see something, we just go get it at the library and watch it.
I love that.
That's where they're at. And I'm like, I don't hate you for that.
Because we can...
That's pretty
We
good
have
idea.
talked about it. We should do a whole episode on the Mandela effect. Because I do love it. I do believe that there are some Mandela effects out there. But like I've said before, some of that is not Mandela effect. And it is the corporations taking out stuff. We saw a comment last time that mentioned Daryl Hannah's butt getting covered up by Disney in Splash.
Yeah.
Are you serious? I still believe that's the biggest crime against humanity that there's ever been, because you should never cover up a butt that beautiful.
Interesting, because Daryl Hannah was mentioned in an episode I was watching of a rerun of Friends, which was like, why her name mentioned right after we talked about her? That's like universal coincidences that are just kind of like...
It happens. I guess it happens. Yeah, yes, a head scratcher, a chin scratcher, yeah.
Anyway.
One more comment here, and it's about Joe Bob. And it came from @Jughead82. I watched the show, and it's so messed up. I have been a fan of John Bloom, a.k.a. Joe Bob Briggs, since the Monster Vision days on TNT. I feel you. The news that Shudder is ending the show, awful. They will have 4 episodes coming this year, with April 24th being the first special. So let's not forget, Joe Bob is still on Shudder a couple times. Joe Bob is a legend, and I am a proud mutant at the drive-in, and it will never die. I'm right there with you. We are members of the Mutant Family, maybe by extension. You at least. I'm definitely a member, but I totally agree with Jughead. And I don't think I'd ever say I would agree with Jughead, but I love when we get names like that too. I love people's usernames.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to do it for Freqy Friday. We love the comments coming in. We can't get to them all.
Keep it coming.
This is our way. This is our way to get to them.
I want to hear more. I want to hear what you guys think about these movies we're talking about.
In today's movie, holy cow.
Oh my gosh.
Because it's Feature Friday as well. And I don't know why I put off watching this movie. And I say that all the time. I'm like, I think I figured it out.
There's only so many hours in a
day.
There
you go. And that's why I figured it out that I can't watch everything when it comes out, because I'm already loaded, man. There's so much stuff out there coming out.
Yeah.
We're getting almost content overload.
Yeah. I like to smell flowers. I like to take hikes. I like to go work out. I like to see my kids once in a while. So I can't be in front of the TV watching things 24 hours straight.
Yeah.
So we'll get to what we get to, I think.
And I think what we're doing also here at Parallel Frequencies is we're curating stuff for you to watch, so that you have time, when you do get that time to watch and sit down, go watch one of these movies, like today's from Peacock.
For sure. Don't miss this one.
Bugonia. Oh my God.
Right.
I mean, the cast alone, you got Emma Stone, Jesse Plemons. I love both of them. And the director, Yorgos. We did the favorite, Yorgos Lanthimos.
Yes.
He directed
definitely
this.
go check out when we picked that movie apart. That was incredible. But the same like real vibe, the real almost uncomfortableness and reality to it. I mean, nothing is airbrushed out. Everything is like, if there's a blemish or a realistic or sweat on their face, it's going to be shown in this style. the way that he does his
Yes,
movies.
and you see this, and you look at it, and you see all the names attached, and you see the trailer maybe, and you look at the cinematography in the trailer, and you think, all right, this movie's either going to win awards or ruin dinner conversations for years, basically,
Yeah.
because that's the energy this movie's giving off.
Yep.
And you never really know until the very end. You don't know what's going on. You don't know who to believe. You don't know if this guy's crazy. You don't know if she's an alien. Like, there's all these things, these questions, and you're sitting there as a viewer just as confused the entire time. So if you
Yeah.
don't like those kinds of movies, not for you. But if you like the ones that give you that psychological whatever, that
Constantly questioning.
constantly questioning what's going on, you gotta check this thing out.
So many different layers to it. I almost felt like as I was watching, or as I was, you guys know, I like to sit with me and my husband. We'll sit and watch a movie, and I have my notebook, and I'm writing things furiously down while I'm watching. Every thought and every. This one almost needed columns because there were so many layers of different things happening at once that it was like, well, this is happening right here. But then at the same time, this other thing is happening underneath the first thing that's happening. And then aside from all that, there's also this whole other thing happening.
You don't know,
I can't even compartmentalize all of it.
when you put the genre to this movie, you don't know what kind you're watching. You don't know if it's an alien invasion. You don't know if it's a drama. You don't know if it's a dark comedy.
Yeah.
Satire, you could throw all these in there. And what I'm going to tell you is it's a mix of all of it.
Yeah. Perfectly
And
blended.
If you haven't seen this movie, these are spoilers. We are spoiling this, so
Yeah.
if you haven't watched
Pause.
it, you need to pause right
Go
now
watch.
and then come back to us. Freaks, come back. Come back to us, okay? Because it's worth watching to hear this conversation that we're talking about. First off, Jesse Plemons.
Oh, yeah.
For a long time, this guy was called Fat Damon. Remember that?
Yeah.
Now, I thought he had surpassed the Fat Damon days when people were even calling him Fat Damon. That was already kind of disrespectful. I think, and this is going to be controversial, he is a better actor than Matt Damon.
For sure.
I think Jesse Plemons is low-key one of the most
I like Matt
dangerous
Damon, but this-
actors working right now. He's not loud, he's not flashy, just unsettling in a way that creeps up on you. Like, he doesn't chew up the scenery, he's absorbing when
Yeah.
he's in it. And then you've got Emma Stone, quietly evolved from charismatic star into, I will dismantle your expectations and smile while doing it. She shaved her head in this movie.
For real. Commitment to this role, to everything. I mean, we always kind of act like that's such a pivotal thing, but really the level of commitment you have to do. Natalie Portman did it, V for Vendetta. You know, we were like, no, they really actually shaved their hair. And it is kind of a big deal, guys. I love my hair. If I was told that for a role I was going to have to shave my head, or that I had the choice to wear a wig or to shave my head,
Wig.
that's a big, yeah. Probably have to go with wig.
I have to go.
That's a big commitment for a role.
She's in this phase now, Emma Stone, where every role feels like a dare.
Oh, yeah.
And this was one of them. I mean, she shaved her head. And then you've got that, and you've got a mix of Jesse Plemons, and that's not just casting. That's chemistry with consequences. And you see it on film. It is
Yeah.
high tension. It is. There's a kidnapping.
Yeah.
And you're there for every step. They don't really cut away from the uncomfortable moments. It's
Yeah.
there for a second. So
Do you know who he reminds me of? And I'm just now coming up with a thought, so I can't remember his name. Actor that passed away was in Hunger Games and...
oh, Philip Seymour.
Yes.
Philip Seymour Hoffman, is that him?
Yes. He kind of reminds me of a younger him.
a younger
in that
version.
he kind of looks like him, but also like the level of, I don't know, the depth that he has.
Layers.
Layers.
And it's commitment to the art is
Yeah.
what I think Jesse Plemons is. And you also got Aiden Delvis, who played Don.
Oh,
And you gotta love this character.
Dawn.
Yorgos cast Aiden Delvis because he wanted a neurodivergent actor who was non-professional and had never been on a movie before. And you felt that when you watched his performance.
It's fantastic.
He blew expectations out of the water if there were any, but you felt for him. You felt the emotion. Suicide.
I'm still not over it.
That suicide had me tearing up, man. That
was hard. That was a hard scene, and you felt her reaction too. That she had genuine empathy.
Oh yeah.
When he says, "Will you take me with you? Will you promise that I can go with you? I don't want to be here."
It's an incredible
I felt it.
performance by everybody on this set. Well, let's zoom out for a second, all right? This is a reimagining of a South Korean film called Save the Green Planet, which you've never seen. Maybe some of the freaks have. Just know, this is how it is. It starts weird, then gets weirder, then suddenly you're questioning reality and your own moral compass. So now we've got the DNA for Bugonia.
Yeah.
And it's filtered through a Western lens, of course, but it's really just this dirty feel. Like, we're not getting a clean ride, and it's a psychological roller coaster, and that's what the movie that it came from was as well. And Bugonia really does do that from beginning to end. It keeps you doing this, man, and it's not. You never really know what's going to happen. You never know who's telling the truth, what the conspiracies are, and that's what it is. It's like the premise alone with conspiracies, delusion versus truth.
Yeah, the isolation and the themes of isolation, being that he's on this farm, but also with access to all this conspiracy on the internet and rabbit hole, and they kind of talk about the psychology of that, which in our day and age, we have to be really careful of that internet conspiracy and AI psychosis that they have not figured out the answer to. I mean, they're letting people know. For example, AI will agree with you in pretty much any situation. Like, it might feel good to hear it. It might feel validating, but it can lead to a really dangerous way of thinking, which is that everything I say to AI and every question I ask, I'm being reaffirmed back to me that what I'm saying is correct. And they haven't solved the problem, guys. So just FYI, no one has figured out how to keep that from happening.
We may not.
You see that conversation between Michelle and just blanked.
Teddy.
Good God, my brain today. Anyway, Michelle and Teddy talking about, she's like, is it possible that you've just kind of gotten into this rabbit hole of conspiracy and you can't get yourself out? And he's like, no, I've researched that too.
Yeah.
I know all about it. I'm not making this up. I mean, there's a whole element of that that's like, but maybe he really is just caught up in that.
Yeah, but then again, it's that delusion versus truth. Is Teddy really insane, or is he the only one that's seeing clearly?
At least partially.
And you don't
come
know.
To some conclusions.
But how many times have you felt like that? You're tuning into something nobody else hears. That's the frequency we're here at parallel frequencies, but it happens all the time.
Yeah. Well, definitely when my husband loves to watch things that are like, aliens built the pyramids kind of stuff. And honestly, I'm not one of those who's walking in going, oh, this is bull crap. This is such, blah, blah, blah. I'm not one of those, but I'm also not one of those going in there being like, oh, absolutely, let's dig into this, every theory and every conspiracy and everything I hear on these shows is truth. I'm more like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Potentially that's true. Aliens were always here. They were always among us. Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of like, that doesn't surprise me.
That wouldn't surprise me a bit.
Sure.
I would be keeping tabs on our crazy asses too if I had the ability,
Yeah, when you look back at mythology, in situations of magic and the Fae and, ancient civilizations where certain species of beings were the gods of that time period, and then you kind of go into the whole, well, what if those were otherworldly beings that were here before us, that created humanity? All these ideas, to me, are like, yeah, that makes sense. I'm not gonna, sit here and be like, whoa, that blew my mind. I'm gonna be like, probably.
Yeah. And I think that's what would happen for they call it the age of disclosure or whatever. Right. And I think that's how most of us would probably react, like, yeah, okay.
Okay.
Like, it's the worst kept secret there is.
Right.
That there's aliens,
You're like,
there's a UFO, there's something else out there. There is.
Yep.
there's something culturally interesting happening with Bugonia. And you're getting this, we've talked about this before, how you're getting dumbed down scripts. Because people are doing this. They're on their phones for the whole movie, so they got to be reminded what's going on. Look, not all audiences are craving stories to be spoon-fed to you.
Yeah.
A lot of us, we're done with the predictable arcs and safe endings. We want the tension. We want to think, I don't know where this is going, but I need to stay with it. And that's what Bugonia is built on. The whole time, you want to stay with it because you don't know. And I love the movies that we don't know where they're going. You don't always have to know where you're going.
Yeah. There's little things along the way that make you switch your prediction of what's going to happen next, where you're like, oh, well, hold on, wait a minute.
And then did you do like I did and just quit?
Quit doing that. You're like, I don't know, I'm here for the ride.
And then I gave up, and then I was like, I'm just going to watch. I'm just going to observe this movie. But that's what I did. I was doing all the things that you normally do.
Yeah.
Is he crazy? Is she an alien? What? You do that until you don't.
Yeah.
You will stop doing that in this movie. And that's
you're
a different type
I'm
of energy.
going to just see how this plays out. My first clue, I don't know if you had a moment somewhere along the line where you're like, wait a minute, something more is happening here that's not typical. Like that wouldn't be a typical situation. For me was Michelle's reaction to being kidnapped. Now, she could just be a really, really evolved human being. Being a CEO, being a really empowered woman. She knows who she is. She knows what she's about. She has a lot of confidence. So when she's kidnapped, to be like, I'm going to gentle parent my way through this. That to me was my first clue that like, this is not the way I would imagine a woman being kidnapped and to be chained to a bed in a basement to start reacting.
And it's funny because she was doing all the corporate talk in there too. And it was almost like she was gentle parenting, but also trying to control a boardroom at the same time with the verbiage that she was using. All these big words and stuff. But yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, handling herself under stress in that way is not typical.
No.
Even if somebody were, I don't know, highly trained in meditative powers.
Whatever it is.
That, able to stay in that kind of calm state during duress. She handles it in such a way that starts to make you question, well, wait a minute, is this something more is going on here? She has some otherworldly qualities about her.
And she does.
Turns out she does.
She does. I mean,
so there you go.
She does, but this is not a popcorn energy type of movie. It's a sit with it till the credits roll and then stare at the ceiling and think about what you just saw.
Oh, for sure.
Like, I'm going to have to watch this movie again. I really do. But it is one of these ones that's going to split the audience down the middle. Half of them going to be saying genius, and the other half, what the hell did I just watch?
Yeah. And again, we talked about, like, the movie-making experience or, like, how movies adapt through the generations. Because we talked about Toys on Wednesday, and we were talking about how that movie would hold up better nowadays than it did when it came out, probably. But these type of movies, like Poor Things and The Favorite, these movies that he's making, this is a new generation type of movie. It's one that I think if you're used to movies being a certain way and they're really just for entertainment and you're like, I just want it to be exciting and fun and fast moving and whatever, then you're going to be like, what did I just watch?
Yeah.
This made me feel icky and I don't want to see it again.
Yeah.
While the rest of those of us craving art, craving thought, craving philosophy, craving deep discussion are going to be like, ooh, this was juicy stuff. And I really like to sink my teeth into this kind of stuff.
And can we also appreciate how both Jesse Plemons and Emma Stone have mastered the art of uncomfortable silence? They can say more in a look or a stare than most actors do in a 10-minute long monologue. And that's dangerous in a film like this, real dangerous.
Yeah. Because
it's built off of the dialogue. And he, at one point, I think he even says, don't use that word, dialogue. We're just talking. I love that. But I love how he snaps back at her and kind of, that's where my instincts kicked in, was the way he snapped back at her, and you were never like, oh, Sure, he seems crazy, but that didn't sound crazy at all. What were you saying? So there's some believability.
He's definitely seeing some things, and not unlike things that we in our world are fighting against. This whole element, like I said, there's columns of things going on here. One of the elements of this movie is this whole corporation, pharmaceutical company, money grab type of vibe, where he's upset because his mother, she's ill. She was telling him, they sold me the sickness and then they sold me the cure. And she's not wrong. They're not wrong. That side of the story is not wrong. That's real stuff that people are dealing with in our healthcare system in this country anyway. So to have this element of he's fed up, whether she's an alien or not, and I think at one point in the beginning when he's convincing Dawn that this is the right thing to do, and Dawn's like, but what if she's not an alien? This will be really fucked up if she's not an alien. But he's like, she's the CEO of this corporation that killed our family. So even then, even if it turns out she's not an alien, I think we're doing the right thing anyway.
Exactly. So, and he's just looking at it as an eye for an eye at that point.
Yeah.
He doesn't care what the other eye comes from. Human or alien. It's whoever did this to his mother and to the people. And what's your final thoughts on Bugonia?
Well, I want to talk about the bees.
I want to
talk about the bees for a second.
And let me interject before you even do, because if you look at this film throughout it, the cinematography, there are hexagons, which are honeycombs, basically. There are hexagons throughout the movie.
Is it not the theme, the central core theme that connects everything together? And I just have to say, before I watched this movie, maybe a week ago, my dad comes in and he goes, you know what I noticed? There's no bees.
No bees.
He's like, all these flowers, all these trees outside of our house that have been blooming, that we see bloom around daybreak every year. He's like, usually they're full of bees. And we've had a very unusual, dry, warm winter. It's been the weirdest winter I've ever seen in Utah. And he's like, there's no bees. I'm not hearing buzzing. I'm not hearing... And then I watched this movie.
Yeah.
So you can imagine how I'm freaking out a little bit.
Where are the bees?
I'm like, this sounds really, 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 really something we have to pay attention to.
That's what your Facebook post was just a couple days ago. You said, where are the bees? Now
on the Pagans and Daybreak group, which I help run on Facebook. If anyone remembers Facebook. Do you guys remember Facebook?
It's there still.
It's there still. Some of us still use it. But anyway... Yeah, I was like, this is an interesting concept to think about, because he thought, as a beekeeper, that was his, on the farm, he's noticing some really big problems with the bees disappearing and dying off, and he blames the aliens for it. Turns out they're the ones trying to save the Earth from it, because it's the humans and their influence on the world. I mean, we know how much influence humans have had, more influence on geology than any other era of history in any other age. So here's what I have to say about this. Animism will save the world, okay? For thousands of years, we have looked at the earth, the animals, and the resources on this planet as for us. They're here for us, okay? We are we colonize, we commercialize, we capitalize on the resources of this earth. And the bees belong to us, and the trees belong to us. If we saw all of that, and even inanimate objects like the minerals in the earth, as beings in coexistence with us, we would not be ruining our planet and thus making it so we can't live here anymore. And I said this when we talked about pluribus, because we talked about that hive mind and how, that influenced the earth. And I thought, well, isn't it kind of an ego problem that we think we deserve to have individualism when it's ruining the planet? When the ending comes in this movie, okay, this is like the pivotal, this is it, you guys. The ending, when she decides as Empress that this experiment of humans has gone wrong.
It's over.
It's done. It didn't work. We tried. We did our best. It's over. She pops the bubble. and then the montage starts of seeing every human being on the planet drop dead. Now, I think maybe if I was younger, I would have looked at that montage and been like, oh, how awful, how sad. Every human being, even the children, everyone is gone. Oh, that's just devastating. Now I'm like, serves us right. Serves us right, man. We couldn't take care of our planet. We couldn't do a better job. This is what happens. And if it makes sure the bees survive, then I guess we gotta go.
I'm right there with you. I believe.
I didn't have the sadness, and I want to know about what the freaks thought.
Yeah.
I want to know. Like, did you watch that montage and go, oh no? Or were you like, yep?
And the freaks out there, like, you got to remember, like, this is what we're doing here. This is what we do. We like to decode the movies. We like to feel them. We like to argue about them at 2 a.m. like they matter, because they do.
Yeah.
When I send you text messages in the middle of the night and I'm like, hey, what about this? That's what we do. That's what it's for.
Here's what's next.
Here's what's, yeah. Before we get out of here, I'm gonna go ahead and tease another movie that I just watched. I saw Undertone.
Ooh.
And we're gonna put that on the list. And be on the lookout for that one.
Yeah.
That one right there is coming up. This is Friday though. We're going into the weekend. What do you got going on this weekend?
I don't even know.
Nothing? That's about what mine looks like. Is nothing so far.
I have to look at my calendar. That's why I live by my calendar. Because I'm like...
I get that. Yeah, I get that. Well, we hope all the freaks out there have a happy weekend. There's no holidays or anything this weekend, I don't think.
No, you know what? Let's just chill this weekend. Just whatever you're doing, maybe just be like...
Put some movies on. Let's put some movies on.
The weather.
Peacock. Bugonia, Peacock. Go watch this.
And take care of your planet. Okay, guys?
Yeah.
If I could say anything to the whole planet at once, if I could say anything, it'd be like, is money really the most important thing when our Earth is dying? Can we use our powers of innovation to solve some of these problems rather than like how fast we can make AI do work for us?
Right.
And that's my soapbox.
I like it. You got on the soapbox hard here at the end. Coco was fired up going into the weekend.
I'm a little bit, yeah. I was cheering for the bees in that movie.
Let's see how you feel Monday. Are you going to have this same type of energy Monday when we come back? I don't even know what we're talking about. Movie Monday. It's going to be a surprise to the freaks too then. It's a surprise to us. It'll be a surprise to you guys. But that's going to do it for this episode of Parallel Frequencies. I am just Blane. This is Coco. You are the freaks. Land of 1,000 Hills. Thank you.